Recording. Perfect. So my name is Jay Lisa Swain, and I'm the Director of Customer Experience here at Teamzy. I am very, very excited that you've made some time to learn more about a new system. So I am pumped to jump in and show you guys all of my tips and tricks for really maximizing on your time with Teamzy. So stick with me. Here's what I've actually got planned for tonight. We're gonna jump into setup. So we're gonna talk about different ways that you can kind of maneuver through setup as painlessly as possible. And then we're gonna talk about power hours, what features you should really focus on. I'm gonna show you some features you may not know exist in the system that will just help you getting through some of the day-to-day activities. Then last but not least, we're gonna talk about following up like a pro, because I know it and you know it, the fortunes in the follow-up. But all too often that can be the uncomfortable place. People feel like they're bothering or nagging people, when in actuality, following up is just an act of love. You're simply showing up when you said you would. So I'm gonna show you how you don't have to manage an external system or a third-party app or post-it notes or anything like that. We're just gonna have everything live in one system and have you be really confident in that system when you choose to use it. All right, so that's what I've got planned for the evening, and then I'm gonna open up the floor to any questions you might have. So if you've already jumped into the system and you're thinking, well, I've got a specific scenario or challenge, then hang with me because I will open up the floor to those questions and I'll answer for you in real time. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna share my screen with you. Like I said, I am recording tonight's session for anyone that jumped on a little bit later. We're gonna start with setup and then we're gonna get into power hours and follow-ups. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So you should be looking at my Teamzy screen now. So this is my Teamzy dashboard. Before we jump in, okay, to the actual logistics of setup, I want to just make sure that everyone's aware that they have access to a free 30-day trial of Teamzy. No credit card necessary. You're going to get to just sort of step into the system and then see if it works for your dynamic over 30 days. So get your free 30-day trial and then start to really use it. That's the best way to actually find out if it's going to work for you long term. Like I said, no credit card necessary. You're gonna get to just sort of step into it and use the system. Alrighty, once you've gotten your free 30-day trial underway, if you're thinking to yourself, well, Jay, I didn't get to really utilize all of my 30-day trial for whatever reason, I want you to love the system before you choose to make the investment in your business. So please reach out to me directly after the call and I'll be sure to kind of extend your trial a couple more weeks and just give you the time that you need to really be sure, okay? So stay tuned. I am going to share all of my direct contact information with you at the end of my quick presentation. Alrighty, so let's get into the actual demo. So if you've logged into your Teamzy, you've been clicking around, sort of familiarizing yourself, you can get back to what's known as our setup wizard in the upper right-hand corner of your Teamzy. You'll have a little tiny wheel. So if you click here, you'll have setup wizard as an option. So when we click there, we're gonna have the 3 steps in our setup wizard. So we're keeping this as painless as possible, letting you know exactly what you can expect during setup. So because Teamzy is more than just a tracking app, because it's more than just an organizational tool, we're actually going to have you focus on lead generation. And that's actually what Teamzy is a lead generation system, or a system that initiates inquiry or interest into the products and services that you offer. So first step in our system is going to be to actually create an income goal. Set your eyes on the prize so that we know exactly what highly productive activities we need to ask of you every single day in order for you to stay on track with your goal. So step 1, we're going to create that income goal, okay? But your income goal is going to be over 12 months. So not on a monthly basis, it's going to be annually. But we're going to go through each of these steps together, so stick with me. Alrighty, step 2, we're going to create what's known as a powerful why statement. I'm talking to Beachbody coaches, so I know I'm in the right room. You guys are very familiar with powerful whys. If you're brand new to the industry or this is a new concept to you, not to worry, Teamzy has a little exercise that's built in. It's sort of gonna pull it out of you, okay, little by little. But ultimately, your powerful why will become a tool, okay? It's something that you're gonna reach for on challenging days. When you're faced with those really difficult moments that will present themselves in this business, why should I push through? Why should I persevere right here and right now? Why? So we're gonna help you create that powerful why statement. Step 3 in the setup process is going to be importing your contacts, okay? So I know that's gonna be the meat of setup. I'm gonna have some tips and things for you. So please grab a pen and paper just so you can jot some things down, especially about setup. Alrighty, so let's jump into it and let me let you know exactly what you can expect during your setup process. Alrighty, when we're ready, we'll hit start and we are through to the first step in setup, which is ultimately creating that income goal. Okay, so like I said a moment ago, you're gonna create this income goal over 12 months. So right now, what do you wanna make at the end of the next 12 months? You may, we're well into 2017, so you may already be killing your 2017 goals. You may be at the place right now where you're thinking, okay, maybe I wanna do a little strategic planning. This is that opportunity, okay? You are not just setting a pretty placeholder in Teamzy. This is actually going to be the number that we use, okay, Teamzy, to pump out for you the number of highly productive activities you need to do every day, every week, and every month in order to stay on track with this income goal, okay? So not just a pretty placeholder. Know that you are actually going to be challenging yourself to do the activities that it would take to reach this income goal. Alrighty, so come along with me. You're gonna place your 12-month income goal here. Let's say you wanted to make $100,000. We will hit continue and we're on to the initial breakdown. So like I said, it's not just a number that hangs out there, okay? It's not just that I get to glance over and see a $100,000 income goal. Teamzy has now let me know, okay, Jay, if you want to make $100,000 over the next 12 months, you need to connect 2,899 times. Okay, that can sound like a lot. If your goal is ambitious there in the beginning, consider that first number is going to be an annual goal, okay? So it's telling me I need to connect 2,899 times over the next 12 months. Just stop for a moment. If you're feeling overwhelmed at this number, if you're thinking, well, I can't do that many, I want you to just stop and consider how many people you're already connecting with on a daily basis, okay? This is not so much intentionally, you're not focusing on anything specific, you're just already connecting with these people. Okay, got the number? Now go ahead and figure on a weekly basis. Okay, got that? Now monthly? If you were to figure that number on an annual basis, it would be staggering. You are simply taking an intentional approach to your business. You are deciding, okay, if I want to get from A to B, this is the path I need to take. This is the actual steps I need to take. So 2,899 connections. Sounds like it's a little ambitious, but I'm going to go ahead and hit continue here. And Teamzy is going to apply the overall breakdown, okay? Now it's going to give me bite-sized chunks, sort of feasible milestones. If I want to get from A to B, Teamzy is giving me my path. It's let me know, okay, Jay, $100,000 means 2,899 connections in a year. But really, that breaks down to about 6 connections to my prospects, 4 to my customers, and 3 to my coaches. Now that is far more feasible. That's something that I can actually do, a bite-sized chunk. That's the biggest difference between an achievable goal and a not so achievable goal, is having the achievable milestones that get you there. You have to know you're on the right path. Human nature all too often will lead us to deviate, right? If I don't know exactly what to do, I'm just gonna make it up. But that doesn't get you to an intentional goal. You're just gonna end up somewhere near it. So if we've decided we're going to actually set out after a focused goal, then this is what we're going to need to do. 6 connections to our prospects, 4 to our customers, and 3 to our coaches. I'm going to stop here for a moment. Some of you may be thinking, well, Jay, I do that many connections before breakfast. You're amazing. You are awesome. You know who you are, okay? If you are killing it with connections, if you're thinking I'm always on the phone, I have no problem connecting with people, then you can actually get ambitious here. Get in there and challenge yourself. Go for your stretch goal, okay? If your goal is set at 6 right now, but you're thinking, you know what, I wanna connect with 10 prospects per day, and I wanna connect with 6 of my customers. You have the choice to go into those fields and actually customize it per your dynamic. We understand that no 2 of you are at the exact same place in this business, so you can tailor your goals based on your needs, okay? The same is going to go for any of our brand new coaches. Welcome, okay? So with this exciting new opportunity, you may find yourself in a position where you don't have customers or coaches yet. That's okay, all right? That's a temporary status. So what you wanna do in that case is just reallocate or redistribute the goals that Teamzy gives you for customers and coaches over to your prospects. So let's say Teamzy told me I needed to make 6 connections to my prospects, 4 to my customers, and 3 to my coaches. If I'm brand new and I don't have coaches yet and I don't have customers, I would make this a 0. I'm gonna make this one 0. And now I'm going to take the 7, okay, that were in the customers and the coaches column, and I'm gonna move that over to the prospects field. So now I'm gonna connect with 13 prospects total every day, keeping me on track with my overall connection goal so I can still be moving toward my income, but it's allowed me to work around my actual, like the realities of my dynamic until that changes. And then you'll have the choice to come in here and change or customize that. Okay, so that's sort of what I wanted to let you know about customizing your goals at this stage. If you wanted to accept the recommended, you can do that because you will always have the right to come back and change this. We know your business is going to sort of evolve. You'll have, you'll hit a real stride in your business where you'll be killing it some days, and then it might lighten up during other times. So you'll have the option to come in here and sort of tailor this based on your needs. Okay, so in addition to a connection goal for your prospects, customers, and coaches, Teamzy is creating a goal for your daily invites and your daily additions. So a moment ago, I explained to you all that Teamzy is a lead generation system at heart. So it's actually going to be focusing on some of these specific, highly productive activities. So we'll start with those invites. Invites are going to be intentional calls to action, okay? Anytime you're working with a prospect or a customer or a coach, okay, and you invite them to join you for an event, for an upcoming challenge group, for a 3-way call, to try a product, anything that calls them to action, getting them a little bit closer, okay, to either moving on, getting involved with the product, or getting involved with the business opportunity, your invites get you that much closer to your goals. So you want to keep in mind here that you can actually set a goal for yourself. Teamzy is going to give you one baseline, just like the other connections. But if you're thinking, you know what, as a team, we're trying to send out 10 invites per week or something like that, you can actually come in here and tailor that so it's parallel to your team's goals. You have that option. Alrighty, so invites, keep in mind, intentional calls to action. Am I asking the person to take action as a result of this connection, okay? Daily additions, because Teamzy is built as a lead generation system. It's going to have you focus on introducing new people to the products and services that you offer. So did you accept any friend requests today? Did you meet anyone brand new out in the real world, face-to-face and belly-to-belly? These are going to be your opportunities for adding or introducing new people to your database. And Teamzy is going to set a goal for you every day. You can come in here and say, you know what, I want to do 5 invites every day, and I need to add at least 2, or at least 1, or at least 5. You have the choice to customize your goals. Okay, so let's say you are satisfied with the goals as they stand. You can hit continue here, and you are on to the second step in the setup process, which is setting up that powerful why statement. Okay. So with your powerful why, this video is going to take you through that process. Our creator and founder here at Teamzy, Eric Johnson, actually shares his process, what went into creating or formulating his powerful why, which helped him build a business like Teamzy. So we'll hit continue here, and Teamzy is going to redirect us to the actual exercise that I mentioned, where if you've never created a powerful why before, if you don't even know where to start, this is going to sort of pull it out of you little by little, right? Why did you become a coach? Well, for me in the beginning, it wasn't overly deep. I needed a little extra money, right? My coach said I could make $250 extra a month. I thought that was a great place to start. I can do that. What did I hope to accomplish? A savings account. That seemed like a good place to start. Why was that important to me? Well, I married a Marine straight out of college. We were looking at a military career. You know, the constraints on income as they come. I thought to myself, a community of my own, financial freedom. My powerful why started to take shape. In the beginning, I felt a little lost. I thought to myself, this can't be, it's not deep like everybody else's why is deep. But give in to the exercise. You'll find that yours will take shape. Okay, so you're answering a question at a time. Once you get to the bottom of this page, you're going to notice that it has a My Why field. If you advance past this page and you're thinking to yourself, I don't see my why anywhere. Jay, I answered all of the questions, but it's not on my dashboard. What's going on here is that you did answer all of the fields, more than likely, but this section here in the bottom where it says my why is empty. So what you need to do is take the answers to each of the questions above and just formulate a paragraph, even if that means just copying and pasting, okay? Once you've got your powerful why in that field, you can hit continue. And we are on to the third step in the setup process, which is importing those contacts. Okay, so this is the meat of setup. I know this is the part where everyone's taking a deep breath, so let's just do it together, okay? I promise this will be as painless as possible. If you're thinking to yourself, Jay, I'm just not tech savvy, I'm not that girl, not to worry, I am, okay? And I'm a great resource for you. You can always reach out to me if you need any help. I import contact files all day long. I log into back offices and I pull lists for my users that can't, that don't have the time or can't seem to do it on their own. It's not a problem for us, okay? Reach out if you are hitting a wall. We'll be happy to help. Stick with me. I am going to share all of my direct contact information with you here shortly. Okay, so back to importing our contacts. We're going to start with the order in which you should import into Teamzy. Okay. Before I mention that, I know that you're going to be bringing in files from different locations. Jay, I have a list in LinkedIn, and I've got a list in my Beachbody back office, then one in my email service. That is A-okay. We have designed Teamzy to be prepared to consolidate your lists down into one master list, okay? So feel free to export from LinkedIn, from your email services, from your back office. Those files can come into Teamzy. I just want you to be conscious of the order in which you choose to import. So we're going to start with our Beachbody customers and coaches. Okay, let's say today is day one in Teamzy. You're starting with setup. If you're ready to import, begin by exporting your customers and your coaches from your Beachbody back office. This first video on this page will actually walk you through that process step by step. Super simple. For those of you that aren't aware, we built, designed Teamzy custom made for Beachbody coaches to begin with. We have been blessed to sort of expand into some other networks, but originally it was for our Beachbody coaches. So the files are ready and coded to be brought into our system without you having to really muss or fuss with them at all. Okay, so you're starting with your customers and your coaches from Beachbody. Then I want you to go over to any custom spreadsheets you may have created, okay? You know the ones with the beautiful color coding, next follow-up date, every single note you've ever sent them, 101 columns included. It's awesome. You should definitely bring that information into the system. You have spent enough time compiling it. So in that case, you can definitely bring the files in. But those usually have a lot of info, okay? Notes, contact-based information, all of those details. That's why I recommend bringing them in after your customers and your coaches. Because with every file you add to Teamzy, every time you import a file to Teamzy, Teamzy is going to search for duplicates, okay? So it's going to check against the list of clients that currently exist in your Teamzy, and it's going to say, okay, here are the new people. I removed all the duplicates for you. That's going to happen automatically every time you upload a file. So I recommend that you bring in the files with the most information first, starting with your customers and your coaches from your Beachbody back office. Then you're going over to your custom spreadsheets. Once you've got your custom spreadsheet loaded, then focus on your email services, your Gmail, Outlook, 365, Spark. All of the email services out there are more than likely compiling an address book for you. It's an opportunity for you to pull all of the people that you've been emailing with, corresponding with that way, and you can bring those into the system. Once you've got your email services uploaded, then I want you to focus specifically on LinkedIn connections, okay? Not just any social media. I want you to focus on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a business profile, social media-ish platform that allows you to allows you to collect great information, like an email address, where they currently work, phone number, details that other social media platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, they cannot release that information of their users, but LinkedIn can. okay? So you're starting with your Beachbody customers and coaches. Then you're bringing in custom spreadsheets. Then you're gonna bring in your email services. Once you've got your email services loaded, you can focus on LinkedIn specifically. LinkedIn. Now the video for exporting from LinkedIn is not amongst the videos you see here. If you need those instructions, reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to connect you with that. All right, so once we've imported all of those other files, you are now free to import your Facebook or any other social media, okay? The reason that I mentioned Facebook and other social media platforms last is not, okay, I say again, is not because they are less beneficial or because they're not as important. Those are awesome sources of connection for you. But Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, these platforms are subject to extremely high security scrutiny. So they cannot just release their users' data to you, okay? So you're gonna basically get a list of first and last name from Facebook. Instagram actually does not allow you to export your followers. That's something that we're keeping our ears to the ground on a change. But for now, you would have to manually compile a list of your Instagram followers. The same is gonna go for Twitter. So we're gonna go over that order one last time. We're starting with our customers and coaches from Beachbody back office. Then you're gonna go over and bring in any of those custom spreadsheets. Once you've got your custom spreadsheets in, you're gonna go over to your email services. Once you've got your email services done, you want to focus on LinkedIn specifically. LinkedIn. Once you brought in your LinkedIn, then go ahead and focus on Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media platform that you'd like to bring in your files from. Okay, so there's the order in which you're going to import to Teamzy. Here are some other tips to keep in mind. Each video, like I said, is going to walk you through that process. This is the process for exporting from Beachbody. This is going to be the process for exporting your Facebook contacts, and then this video will walk you through taking any files and importing them into Teamzy. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, some things to keep in mind. When you're exporting from your Beachbody back office, okay, if I have any team leaders, people that are growing some of these larger teams, some of you like to keep your eyes on all of the coaches that have been brought in that are directly sponsored by you and people from members of your downline. If that's the case, then feel free to pull your full downline report. Otherwise, if you want to bring in only the coaches that are directly sponsored to you, then make sure that you pull the directly sponsored report when you're in your Beachbody. Having any challenges, reach out to me directly, okay? So that's going to be my Beachbody tip. You have the choice to pull your downline report, including directly sponsored and people who are in your downline. Okay, Facebook. Let's say that you have followed all of my instructions, you brought in all of your other contacts, and now you're ready to bring in Facebook. If you have followed the instructions, this is gonna sound familiar to some of you that have not jumped in yet, it's gonna sound not familiar. Okay. So when you're ready to import your Facebook contacts, if you've gone through the process and you requested your Facebook data from Facebook, but you never received the file, you're thinking, Jay, I requested my data 2 days ago, a day ago, more than a few hours. If it's been any more than 3 hours that you've been waiting for your Facebook data, then you are included, okay? Facebook is going through some growing pains. Even the big guys do. So in this case, if you've been waiting on your data, I want you to go back over to Facebook. I'm gonna do this for you in real time. You're gonna open up your Facebook account. Now in the upper right-hand corner, you have a little tiny caret, okay? Or it's the little upside down arrow. If you've been through this process and you are included, this is not gonna sound foreign. So you're gonna come down to your settings. From here, you're in your general account settings. Very last option on that page is going to be to download a copy of your Facebook data. Once you click there, this time around, because you've already clicked the Start My Archive in green, you're gonna notice that it says Download My Archive. You are gonna be able to click on that link and it's going to automatically start the file download. What's happened is that Facebook is skipping over a process. They're skipping over a step. I think what we're gonna see happen is in 6 months or so, everyone will be subject to this new process, but for now, it's only some of us. So you don't have to wait for a link. Facebook added your information directly in your Facebook account. So go back to your settings, head over to download a copy, and then this time click on Download My Archive in green. You will see the file immediately start to download. It's probably going to bounce and drop right into your downloads folder. If you have any challenges beyond that, reach out to me directly. Okay, so those are my tips for exporting from Facebook and importing into Teamzy. If you've been waiting any more than a few hours on your data, head back to that settings section. Alrighty. Any custom spreadsheets that you're bringing into the system, any of those custom spreadsheets that you created yourself, you just want to be conscious if it's in a CSV format. So what you see on screen right now, .csv, comma, separated value. Okay, so that's the file format that's most readily accepted into CRM systems, so Teamzy is not going to be any different there. When you're ready to import your files, you'll hit continue. If you get around to importing your files tomorrow and you're thinking, I don't remember what file formats she said, I don't remember if this is the right file or where I should start, we have actually included a little filter, so you can select any file, okay? Doesn't matter what it is, and Teamzy will tell you yes or no as far as whether you can move forward or not, okay? So I will choose my file. Teamzy is now going to run that initial screen and it's going to give me that green check mark, okay? So this file can be successfully uploaded. That's what you're looking for. If you get the red X or the spinning wheel of doom or whatever the case is, just feel free to shoot me an email and let me know something's off, and I'll be happy to take a look for you. Okay, so once you've selected your file and you're ready to move forward, you can actually click on Advanced Import Options here. This is going to display for you a few options where you can actually tag or identify everyone on this one file in one swoop, okay? So if, let's say, this is a full list of my Facebook friends, I could actually, in the tagline here, type in the word Facebook. Now, every single person, even if there's 1,000 names on that file, will now have the tag Facebook applied to it. So at one glance, I'll be able to see, oh, okay, I know that person through Facebook. Or you can use it to tag people by challenge groups. If this is my July challenge group, I can actually create, so you can customize your tags to your preference. You can create as many or as few as you'd like. I just like to point this out when you're doing setup, pardon me, because so many of your contacts are going to be batched, where either that's like a custom spreadsheet that you created, which is a list of everyone who's interested in 21-day fix, or maybe you've got another list of everyone who participated in a recent challenge group or who went to a recent event. You can create campaign lists or target campaigns or anything like that based on your tags, okay? So keep in mind that you can apply a tag to everyone on an import right here during the import process. Alrighty, so let's say these are indeed Facebook friends. I'm just gonna go ahead and tag them as Facebook. You'll notice the system allows you to say, okay, this is a full list of my customers or a full list of coaches. We have created the system designed for Beachbody coaches, so any of those files that come from Beachbody are automatically going to go where they need to go. You can always glance into this section just to make sure that it went where it needs to. Okay, so prospect, customer, or coach. These are going to be prospects for now. I'm going to hit continue. Teamzy is going to automatically map that file. That means it put the first names with the first names, email addresses with email addresses, and so on. I do want to stop here and make just one quick tip. For any of you that have those beautiful color-coded Excel spreadsheets, the custom ones that you created yourself with 101 columns, the whole 9 yards, Teamzy may need your help with those files, okay? So if you come to a page that looks a little more like this, where it may have a few red X's down this column under where it says mapped, you may see a few red X's. Teamzy is looking for your help. It's saying that, okay, I don't know where to put this piece of information. You would basically say, okay, Teamzy, I want you to put that in the phone number field. Many of you will never encounter this page because Teamzy is intuitive enough to know where to put the information, but some of those, custom created columns might need some help. If you're having any challenges, feel free to reach out. So I'll hit continue here. Teamzy is now going to bring in all of those contacts and it's going to move me through right to the next step in setup. So I did say that the setup process was going to be 3 quick steps, okay? So you've done the meat of it. You set your income goal, you've created that powerful why statement, and you've imported your contacts. Now that we've got the meat done, we've actually got to dive into a really vital portion of the setup process for Teamzy, which is going to be ranking or prioritizing your database. So I want to actually take some time and chat through this whole process. So the reason that Teamzy is so beneficial is that it's not just a place where you can go and glance over at your goals. We are promising to help you stay on track with your highly productive activities, knowing who to contact and when, knowing when to reach out to people, knowing when to follow up. All of that is going to be automated for you in the system. But the only way that's possible is if you tell Teamzy who is important, who has the greatest priority to you. So you're going to take a hard look at every single person, every prospect, every customer, and every coach that you bring into Teamzy. And you're going to say, okay, this person is a 5-star, or someone most likely to become a customer or coach, or an existing customer or coach that is a rock star, someone I want to connect with every 30 days like clockwork. So when you apply a priority rank, you also apply a default follow-up. And that default follow-up is going to be listed for you. Sorry about that, guys. My connection dropped off. I apologize. Sorry. Let's get right back into it. Okay, so default follow-ups are going to be assigned based on the priority rank. Okay, so you've got your 5 stars are going to be coming up every 30 days. Your 4 stars are going to come up every 60 days. Your 3 stars every 90 days. Your 2 stars every 120 days. And then your 1 stars will never come up for follow-up. Okay, so what you want to consider is that you're going through and you're going to apply a 5 through 1 star ranking to everyone, prospects, customers, and current coaches, okay? You want to consider your 1 star group is, it's a great place as a holding tank. So for any of you that are bringing in people from your downline that maybe you don't want to have to worry about connecting with every 30 days, but you'd like to be able to pull them up if you need their information, the 1 star is a great holding tank for those people. They're in the system, you've got their information organized, but they're not going to muddy the water of your day-to-day follow-ups. Okay? So that's going to be how you rank and prioritize. When you're ready, this little video will take you through what we talked about a moment ago. But when you're ready to actually start to rank, you're going to click on the rank button. This will automatically bring you to the easiest page to rank in Teamzy. So this lists for you every single person in your database, okay? This is the all category, so that will be every single person, manually added or imported on a file like we just did. You'll see all of their names here. If at any point you're wondering how many people do I have in my database total, to the right of the word all here, all the way to the right here in the upper right-hand corner, you're gonna see a total number of contacts. When I highlight it, it's a little harder to see, but that's the area you're looking for, upper right-hand corner of that page, okay? So once you've got your total number of contacts and you're ready to actually rank, you can just go down that list of names. Now, what you'll notice at first is that every single person has been assigned a 3-star ranking, sort of like a safety net, okay? So everybody has been assigned a 90-day default window, every single person, because they're 3 stars. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed. When you're bringing in a list of 500 names and then 1,000 names, it can get easy for this number to get really, really high. So take it in batches, okay? I recommend at the beginning that you go through and try and establish who your 4 and your 5 stars are, because everyone else is kind of in that safety zone, right? You know that, okay, everybody's gonna come up for follow-up little by little because they're in that 3-star range. But what I need to do right now is establish who needs greater frequency follow-ups. Like, oh, okay, you know what, Marlo is a 5-star and Laura is a 4-star. You would basically just go down the list. Try and cherry pick your 4 and your 5 stars to start. People are gonna start to come up for follow-up. You're going to redistribute people through the database. You're gonna say, okay, people's ranks are gonna change because their relationships with you will change. So don't agonize, don't get stuck in the ranking. Just go through and try and get through your 4 and your 5 stars. The system is doing, pardon me, is doing an automatic save with you. So as you move down the list, okay, any changes that you make, the system is going to update for you automatically. So I can go through and say, okay, I've established my 4s and my 5 stars. As you're going through the list, you may come across someone who doesn't need to be in your database for one reason or another. To the right of their ranking is a little tiny trash can. If you click on that trash can, it's going to give you your delete confirmation. If you hit yes, this will permanently delete the person from your database and it'll just move you on to the next person. So that's going to be how quickly and easily you can clean people up as you're going through ranking. What I recommend you do after you have ranked everyone appropriately is above the list of names. You'll see that right now rank mode is enabled. So that just means that it's displaying everyone's active rank. But if I wanted to see everyone's active type, I could actually click on type mode right above the list of names here. So this is going to show me where everyone currently stands, prospect, customer, or coach. I can quickly go down the list and say, oh, you know what, actually, these folks are customers, you're a coach, you're a coach. Some are going to be easier than others. Go through and try and establish the people that jump out at you because you're going to have the opportunity to refine this as you move forward. Okay? So it's going to be that simple. It's doing an automatic save as you move through the list. If you're thinking to yourself, Jay, I imported all of my lists. Now I want to go back and rank. How do I get to that page? You're going to go to your team page on the left-hand side. This will automatically drop you in the all category. So this is every single person, manually added or imported to the system, will be listed here. You'll have the option above the list of names to click on or enable rank mode. That's going to display everyone's active rank. If you want to see everyone's type, you'll click on type and that will display for you everyone's active type. Okay, so if at any point you want to see only your customers, along the middle left-hand side of your page, you're going to have team members. And then you can come down and say, I want to see only my prospects. I want to see only my customers. I want to see only my coaches. This will refine or sort your view, okay? In addition to that, if you come down far enough, you're also going to be able to access any tags that you may have created. So if I want to see every single person that I've tagged as Facebook, I can click on Facebook and it will arrange for me every single person that's been tagged as such. So that's how you're sort of creating those campaign lists. Okay, let's say we are going through and we're kind of updating information. You've cleaned up the people that you don't want in the system. You've ranked folks as you're moving through. What I recommend that you get in the habit of doing is, let's say I'm working with Marlo. Once you click on the person's name, this becomes their active profile here to the right. So I'll highlight that just so that we're all on the same page. This becomes Marlo's profile. I can see that he's a 5-star here. If I come down far enough, I'll notice that he's got a tag. Okay, so right now he's tagged as Facebook. But let's say that I also know that Marlo was a part of my July challenge group. I can go ahead and type in July challenge group. It now creates the tag in real time, a tag that I can reuse. I can add more people to that tag. But for now, I just went ahead and I tagged Marlo as July challenge group. I don't have to save anything. I can just move on. I've now got a follow-up line for Marlo. So for some of you, you may have current pending follow-ups for people. We want you to definitely manage those in the system. So let's say you have your spreadsheet open and you notice that you've got a follow-up set for Marlo on Saturday. What you can do right now is come over to where it says default with the drop-down. You'll click the little drop-down option and you can tell Teamzy, okay, I want to follow up tomorrow, in 2 days, or on Saturday. That now becomes that person's active follow-up and I can just keep moving. I don't have to save anything. I don't have to click another screen, go to another app. I just track that person's follow-up in real time. Okay. You can also affect change on member types. If Marlo purchases the shakes, I can go ahead and switch him over to customer. If he gets involved with the challenge pack, I can go ahead and make him a coach. Whatever the case is, you would update everything right here on the screen. Okay. More areas for information that pertain to this person specifically. I've got his first or last name. I can click here if I need to change anything. Okay, it just lets me click there and make the edit change. When I click anywhere else, the system is going to do an automatic save. So let's say I have Marlo's email address. I would come down to his email field and I can add that information. You'll notice when I click anywhere else, the system gives me a success message, meaning that it's saved that information and I can move on to the next step. So you would add the information that you have. You don't necessarily have to have a full profile for each person, but you add what you have because you'll be able to access this moving forward. Okay, areas for information, contact-based information, phone numbers, email addresses, social media links, personal details, when is their birthday, their spouse's name, their children's names, things that help you serve them better, just allow you to sort of tailor your service and make things a little more personal. So you've got fields for those pieces of information. Let's say you learned something that doesn't fit nicely in any of these fields. They're buying a home, they are, she's expecting a new baby, whatever the case is. You have, in addition to your details section here, you also have a notes section. So this is almost going to be like a blank notepad. So you can click in here and say, first baby, knee surgery. Anything that would be a notation about this client to you, from you, okay? This is just a place where you'll be able to kind of pick this up the next time they come up for follow-up and see, okay, what did we communicate about last? What notes, if any, did I make about that person? All of that's directly in their profile. Okay, so that's gonna be your notes section, and then you're gonna have an activity feed. So as I begin to track activity for Marlo, as I go in here and say, okay, I sent him a Facebook message, sent him an email, as I start to make those connections, Teamzy is gonna keep an itemized list for me. So at any given time, I'll be able to click on it and see what has been the progress with this client, or where did we leave off, okay? So that's gonna be your relationship profiles, sort of in a nutshell, okay? As you're collecting information, know that's where you're gonna put it in the system. Alrighty, so that's gonna be setup, okay? Once you've gone through, you've imported your contacts, you've navigated through the setup wizard, you're ready to start leaning into Teamzy for your power hours. You're ready to start reaching out and connecting with people. So for that, we're gonna head over to your dashboard. All right, so I want you to consider your dashboard to be your virtual accountability partner. Okay, so this is going to be sort of your way of knowing how close or how far you are from meeting your goals on a daily basis without you having to stop and crunch your numbers and figure out, okay, if I want to make 100,000, what do I have to do today? Teamzy has already figured that out for you, and it's now listed or displayed that for you on your dashboard. This is an interactive dashboard, so as you make progress, it will fill that in and you'll be able to see where you stand with that person. Okay, so let's say for the day I've logged into my Teamzy. I now know by looking at my daily activities, okay, my today's activities section, that I have 6 prospects to connect with. That's how you want to read your dashboard every day. Below the actual type, so under the word prospect, I see that I have 6 left. As I begin to connect with prospects, I will see this number increase inside the circle, and the actual circle will begin to fill in. So at one glance, I'll be able to know how close or how far I am from meeting those goals. Okay, so I've got 6 prospects, 4 customers, and 3 coaches. I've also got 5 invites to send out, and I need to add 2 people to my database today. I know those are my marching orders. Now I can just get started. Normally what you would do from here is scrub a list or 2 down, figure out, okay, who should I connect with next? Where do I even start? But you've already done the hard work. You've established who has the greatest priority for you amongst your prospects, amongst your customers, and amongst your coaches. So now Teamzy has created your list of who to connect with. You have your plan of attack. So I know I have 6 prospect connections for the day. So I'm going to scroll down this page below the dailies to where I see who's up next. This is going to be the area that tells me who to connect with and when, every single day. I know I have 6 people. So if I come down to my prospect list, because it's arranging for me just my prospects, who I need to focus on now, and then I can move on to my customers and my coaches. Or you can do it in another order, it's your choice. So I see here from this list that Eric Johnson is my next 5-star that I need to connect with. He's coming up here because I have not logged connection with him in the last 30 days. If at any point you're wondering, what's that breakdown? I don't remember what she said. How often do they come up again? To the right of the words, who's up next, you have a little tiny question mark. If you click that question mark, it's going to give you that report breakdown. Okay, so that's always hidden in there for you. Let's say Eric Johnson comes up for follow-up. Now, what I can do from here is follow this to the right, and I have a little connect section. So I could basically type in here what Eric and I talked about. If we chatted by phone, if I sent him a Facebook message, I would basically have the opportunity to jot down the nature of that conversation or connection. Now, for some of you, you might be thinking, well, I don't really remember how I know this person. Or when you're bringing in a list, you know, of 1,000, 500, 1,500 names, it's going to be important for you to stack the odds in your favor. Add as much information as you can so that you can really hit the ground running when you're ready. Eric Johnson comes up for follow-up. I'm not quite sure how I know him. Just kidding. He's my boss. I love him. So in the upper right hand, within that little connect section, without you navigating anywhere else or opening a spreadsheet or pulling up your Post-it notes or whatever the case is, you can actually click on activity right here on the dashboard. I can click on activity. This lets me see, okay, have I had any activity with Eric? Have I sent him any messages or anything? Okay, doesn't look like it. I can click on his details. Oh, perfect. I've got his email address. I have a phone number, and that's right. Eric and I are Facebook friends. So this is really where that tag tool is really going to come into play. When you're trying to connect with as many people as possible in an hour, in 2 hours for some of us at most, you want all of the information in one place. Now I want to be actionable. I've got information, now I can move. I can actually act. So I have the information, the contact details, but I also now know at one glance exactly the nature of our relationship or how we connect or how he likes to be connected with. We live in a world where people get to choose, okay? Just because you like email doesn't mean that's best for your clientele. So consider when you're working with each and every person that you have the opportunity to personalize or tailor your service, meaning how you reach out or how you connect with them. Okay, in this instance, it looks like Eric and I are Facebook friends. Perfect, I will send him a Facebook message. So I have the option whether to sit here and agonize over what I want to say. You know, I'm not usually short on words, as you can tell, but let's say in this case, I have no idea what to say to this very lukewarm prospect. So I can lean into my system. We have scripts and dialogues that are built right into your Teamzy. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to sit down and reinvent the wheel for every single solitary, lukewarm, cool, hot, whatever the case may be, connection. So right on the dashboard, I don't have to click anywhere else. I don't have to open anything else. I can click on scripts in the upper right-hand corner. This now allows me to choose, okay, you want a script? What kind of script? Are you gonna send Eric a Facebook message, an email, a text, an Instagram, a Snapchat? Find out how your people like to be communicated with and then meet them there, okay? So if Eric likes Facebook, I'm gonna go ahead and click on my Facebook messages. This brings up a whole slew of options. They're mostly one-liners, okay? So let's say connection number 1. Hi, Eric, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. All too often, we're just looking for a way to plant a seed. Just open that door a little bit, let them know, okay, I'm here for you when I said that I would. And now I'm gonna be able to present consistently because I have connect number 1, connect number 2, connect number 3. How many of you know that it takes, that most sales close between the 7th and the 10th follow-up? 7th and the 10th. How many of us thought, darn, how much money am I leaving on the table? Oh man, it's the worst feeling because we feel like, well, now I'm bothering them. I've sent them 3 messages, they've never responded. Why am I gonna keep reaching out? Because for them, they're standing at the cusp of making a huge life change. For you, it's a no-brainer, right? You're thinking this is life-changing. Why wouldn't you do this? But they're still considering. So you have to build consistency. You have to build trust with these people. And your scripts and dialogues are gonna help you to do that with people that are a little more lukewarm. Okay, with your scripts, if you love something that we've created, you can actually customize it, or you can create your own from scratch. If you have a dialogue that's tried and true and you wanted to use that, you can always save it in the system by clicking on New Script in the upper right-hand corner. And that will give you your opportunity to title your script, go ahead and copy and paste if you need to, and then you can reuse that moving forward. Okay, but let's say Eric and I are Facebook friends. You know what, this is our first connection, so I'm just gonna send him a quick Facebook message. I'm gonna click on script, select Facebook, and then you know what, connect number 1 is great. I'm going to hit my quick copy because that just makes it simple for me. I hit quick copy, the system automatically highlights and copies that passage. I can close this. Now this is my process. You do not have to do it this way. I choose to copy and paste exactly what I send my customers, my coaches, my anyone. Because I like to connect with 20, 25 people daily, if not more than that. So in that case, I might get someone that's like, oh, I'd love to get that, you know, what you mentioned in your email on Monday. And it's like, oh, well, now it's an all-out haul to try and find what they're talking about specifically, because I might send 15 different emails out in a day. If you copy and paste exactly what you send people, you will always have a great reference point, okay? That's just food for thought. So I would pop it in here. I update the person's name. Now, because this is a Facebook message, I have to send it directly through Facebook. I get in the habit of keeping my Facebook side by side. I would click on Facebook. I'd come over here to my chat. I'd find Eric. I would drop him a message. I would absolutely update the name there, obviously, before I sent it. And then I would actually send it off through Facebook, okay? So you're gonna get in the habit of copying and pasting your message and taking it over to Facebook. That's gonna be the same for text messages as well. Okay, so once I've actually tracked that I've sent the message, I'm going to select my type. So that means, how did I send that message? How did I choose to connect with this person? I sent Eric a Facebook message. Was it an invite? Am I calling Eric to action on anything? Nope. So I'm good to log the connect. This automatically updates the dashboard. I've connected with one of my prospects for the day, so I have 5 left. And it's removed Eric from my list of prospects, but I still have 5 names. So it's always gonna give me 5 people that I need to focus on based on their priority, okay? So let's say the next person comes up, I would just keep moving. If William and I chat about my upcoming challenge group, again, you can make these as detailed or not as you'd like. These are notes to you, from you. So you can do the copy and paste, or you can just kind of synopsis for yourself. So we chat about my upcoming challenge group. Let's say we're talking by phone. But you know what? This is an invite. I'm actually calling William to action. I want him to join me for my upcoming challenge group. So I'm going to check mark here that it's an invite. Now I'm also going to select under select type that this is a challenge group invite, because you're gonna have the opportunity to pull reports. So you can stay accountable with your team if you guys are going for a team goal for invites or for overall sales and things like that. And stick with me because I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, so let's say it's an invite, but William needs to run right now and I really wanna follow up with him tomorrow. Don't grab your calendar. Don't reach for your Excel spreadsheet and your Post-it notes. Set your follow-up right here in real time. So in the upper right-hand corner of this little area, I have a follow-up drop-down. Right now, it's telling me it's set to default. So when I log Williams Connect, he's not coming up for 30 days. But no, Teamzy, I want to connect with him tomorrow. Once I hit Log Connect, this has now updated my dashboard. I've connected with yet another prospect. It has logged my invite in real time, and it removed William from my prospect list. But I just set a follow-up. Where do I check my follow-ups? Every time you manually create a follow-up, you can check them on your follow-ups list. So in addition to having a list of prospects, a list of customers, a list of coaches, you will also have a list of follow-ups for the day that you custom created. As you're getting familiar and sort of accustomed to the system, there is a notification that's built in, okay? So when you log in tomorrow, you would see the number 1 above this follow-up section. Well, you'll see 2 or 3, depending on how many pending follow-ups you have, okay? So that's gonna be how you get to manage your follow-ups as you're connecting with people. I showed you earlier how you can set a follow-up for someone, even if they didn't come up on the dashboard. But we'll get into more of that once we talk through some of your questions, okay? This is the perfect place to open up the floor to specific questions that you may have. So feel free to jump in the Q&A. Should be right or left of your screen, okay, depending on the browser that you're using. You can pose your questions that way and we'll get into it. For those of you that do have to jump off the call, thank you so much for being here. I want to share my contact information with you really quickly. So feel free to screenshot that or jot that down right now. I will put that back up on the screen after we go through your questions, and then I'll jump back in after your questions and answer a few more questions, and show you a few more of my favorite features, okay? So stick with me. All right, first question that we have, are there invite scripts from Michelle? So I'm gonna go ahead and close this. I'm gonna pull my contact information. Like I said, I'm gonna put it back up. Okay, so you should be looking at my dashboard now. So as far as scripts are concerned, in your script section, if at any point you wanted to see every single script that we have available, just go ahead and click on the first option. Now, above the list of scripts, you have prospect and you have Facebook right now because I'm looking at a prospect script. But I can actually remove these filters, and now the system is going to list for me every single script that's available. Custom created, okay? So that's gonna be any of these that have the little, it looks like a tiny little icon of a man or a person. You can go ahead and you can scroll down beyond those, and then when you get to the scripts that have what look like little links, okay, like our Teamzy icon, those are going to be ones that we have created for you. So that's everything from second contact with a lead after a sale, asking for recommendations, congratulations on results, anything from connections all the way through to follow-up number 10, okay? So we do have some invites that are soft invites that are in there. We don't specifically train on how or when you should invite people, what you should say, those types of things. But there are some great starting points in there, so feel free to take a look. And then you also have the option to bring in your custom ones. Okay. So feel free, guys, like I said, to jump back into the chat if you, in the chat or in the Q&A section if you have additional questions. I'm gonna jump in and show you a few more of my favorite features. Okay. So as you're connecting with people, okay, you're going to, I showed you earlier that you're gonna need to actually send your messages through Facebook, or you're going to need to open up your Twitter or Instagram to send those messages separately. However, if you are a Gmail subscriber, okay, I'm gonna say that again. If you are a Gmail subscriber, you can actually link your Gmail to Teamzy, and it'll let you send emails directly through the system. So what's really cool about that is that also gives you the opportunity to save template emails. So if you have a killer invite or a killer product email or anything like that, you can come down to your scripts area, go over to email. And so here's an example of one that I custom created, okay? It's just a sample 21-day fix email. So what I did is I copied and pasted. I created my title here. I tagged it so that I know I can find it as an email script, as a Facebook script. You have the option. And then if I come down far enough, you'll see that there are, I put some hyperlinks in here so you can see that you can include active hyperlinks if you want them to see before and after pictures, sample clip of 21-day fix or whatever the case is. You have the choice to create your emails in full, and then you can always get in the habit of hitting send email. And now I can just update the person's name, scroll down, and hit send email. It's that simple. A tool like this is going to allow you to connect with that many more people. So yeah, if I've got a few people that prefer Facebook, but then I've got 5 people that like email, I know I can send out those 5 emails in 2, 3, 4 minutes, if that. You just get into the habit of knowing that you can lean on these tools. So know that you can create your own emails, save them in the system and reuse them. And if you are a Gmail subscriber, you can actually link your Gmail so that you can send emails directly. Alrighty, so that's gonna be your Gmail integration. I usually get the question at this point, how do I do that, Jay? Or how do I know that I've linked my Gmail appropriately? In the upper right-hand corner, that little wheel where we went to your setup wizard, you wanna come down to settings. Once you're in the settings area, on the middle left-hand side, you're gonna have integrations as an option. You're gonna click on integrations, and it will let you know Gmail successfully connected, or it will have a big old blue connect button. It will hold your hand, walk you through that process, and then you'll be able to send emails. Really cool. Okay, so that's your email function that's built right into Teamzy. Now, we all live crazy busy lives, right? Without having met any of you, I know that to be the truth. So we'd love to be able to manage our businesses on the go from these handy dandy devices. So we do not have an app yet, so you don't have to go to the app store, but you can absolutely manage, track, and utilize your Teamzy from your mobile device on the go. What you want to do is, whether you're an Android or an iPhone user, is open up your browser of choice, okay? So for me, it's Safari. Once you've got that open, I want you to type in what you see in my URL bar now. So the word app.teamzy.com. So the word app.teamzy.com. Once it pulls up the Teamzy page, go ahead and log in and save your login credentials. Once you've done that, I'm actually gonna stop my share really quickly just to show you guys on my screen. So this is actually my Teamzy app here. So if I were to click on this, it's going to load my Teamzy dashboard. So I can actually see my goals for the day, I can see who I need to connect with, and I can move on. Okay, so with this, you wanna keep in mind that you actually need to add it to your home screen if you wanna access it in that way. So when you're gonna add to home screen, if you're on an iPhone, it's very simple. You're going to hit the share option at the bottom of your screen. Put my screen back up. You're gonna hit share at the bottom. Once you select the share option, it's gonna give you the choice to add to home screen, save to mobile device, lots of different choices. You're looking for add to home screen. This will let you tap on it on the go and it acts just like an app, especially if you save your credentials because then you don't have to log in each time. Okay, so that's gonna be how you access Teamzy on the go, okay? It's gonna be great for updating, tracking. You can actually send emails, you can access those scripts. So really, if you're at the place where your power hour is not really manifesting in a solid hour, if it's more like 15 minutes here or 20 minutes there, lean into that feature because that's gonna be something that lets you do it wherever you are. Okay, so sending emails and mobile functionality built right into Teamzy. The last thing that I wanna mention, I promise I can keep talking if you guys don't jump in there and ask questions. So the last thing that I wanna mention to you is how you're going to track your sales and your income in Teamzy. So in the beginning, we started all of this by creating an income goal. So it's gonna be important that you actually track your income toward that goal. So your business tab on the left-hand side is going to give you access to all of your business statistics. There is a word that I struggle with. I talk too fast. So we've now got the ability at one glance to see, okay, what is my goal for the year? Okay, my goal is $100,000. It looks like I've tracked about $12,000 toward my goal. You would have the opportunity to hit the little plus symbol here, or you can click on add income in the upper right-hand corner. Either of which are gonna give you access to an itemized income report. You can come in here and add income by date range. So if you wanna track it monthly, quarterly, annually, if you wanted to, you could come in here and say, I made this between this day and that day, and it will go ahead and update your income report. So that's gonna be how you track your income in Teamzy. That report is really great because you can backdate. So if you wanna see how you were doing in 2016 versus now, you have that option. Alrighty. In addition to income, we're gonna be tracking your total customers, your total number of personally sponsored coaches. And then if you come down far enough on this page, you're gonna have a growth report, an activities report, and your ratios broken down connects to sale, sales to coach, and then all-time connections. Come down far enough on that page and you will actually have access to an itemized activity report, okay? So for my, my to-do list guys and gals that love to just check it off, I'm one of those. I will add to a list simply to see it with a check mark by it. So in this case, if you're kind of weaning yourself off of the paper and pen, know that you have the option to pull reports. If you wanted to say, see every connect that you made today, you could actually run that filter. Or if you wanted to say, see only the invites that you sent, you could say invites. And then you know what? I only want to see invites for my challenge groups. This will allow you to apply that filter. You can export that to Excel, print to your heart's content, check, check, check mark all day. So this is a really great report that's built right into your business section for you as well. Alrighty, I'm gonna take a quick look at the question and answer section. Please jump in there if you have any additional questions, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up for the evening. All right, so Bernie wants to know, how does he add the app? So again, it's gonna be a mobile site, so you're not going to the App Store, okay? So I want you to open up your browser. So it might be Chrome, it might be Safari, whatever the case. And you wanna type in what you see in my URL bar now, okay? So the word app, app.teamzy.com. So app.teamzy.com. Once you've got that loaded, you're gonna go ahead and log in, enter your login credentials, and then hit remember me. Once you've done that and you're logged into Teamzy, then at the bottom of your screen, depending on the device that you're using, you're looking for an icon that looks like a box with an arrow pointing up. It's a box with an arrow pointing up. When you open that menu, you will see add to home screen. That will let you access it sort of like an app from your mobile device. Okay, if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to me after the call. okay? Anybody else jump in the question and answer? Feel free to ask any additional questions that you may have. Okay, I don't see any coming in. Let's go ahead and wrap up for this evening. The last thing that I want to mention to you is that Teamzy's, we are always innovating and changing and adding things to the system. So your university tab on the left-hand side is going to be a really, really great tool for you because you can access tutorial videos, webinars, getting started videos. No matter where you are sort of in the process, you have the option to go in and sort of view FAQs, tutorial videos, and webinars by accessing your university tab on the left-hand side. Okay, so it looks like my connection is being a little funky now. So your university tab on the left, if you, for whatever reason, misplaced my contact information, if you feel like you need a little more help, you have a help button in the lower right-hand corner of your Teamzy and a feedback option in the upper right-hand corner. All right, well, that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I know that I've given you quite a bit to think about. Feel free to reach out to me if you need any help along the way, and we do hope that you love Teamzy. I'm gonna go ahead and share my contact information as you go.